My name is Marianella Crispin, better known as Nellie. I was a dancer for many, many years. Jumping, leaping, splitting, all that caused my hip to tear my labrum, caused a lot of arthritis, caused spurs to develop, and of course I was bone and bone. So every time I step, I will stumble. I will be on the floor. And it got to a point where I said, I can't live like this anymore. And it's no other way to explain the feeling that you get once you're here and walk out as if nothing has ever occurred.
I'm a professional driver as in a private car service, but prior to that, in my elementary, junior high school time, I played basketball and I had a torn cartilage. So when I was in 8th grade, they removed the cartilage. And the knee was never right since then. That was in upstate New York. As the wear and tear and using my legs, the knee just became big and stayed big. And I knew that the knee was at a point of compromising myself too much. I knew that I would be compensating with the rest of my body, whether it was the other knee, the back, the ankles, whatever it is. Because if you have something hurting, you're going to compensate. So once he read the MRI, and I knew that we would move forward right away, because if I could save any other parts of my body by not prolonging a procedure, it wasn't worth it to me to maybe years later have to address something else unnecessarily when I could have prevented it over here.
So my friend here, who just had her knee replaced this past weekend, went online, did all the research, because we have no insurance either. So we were looking for somewhere, somehow, that we can afford it and get this thing done. And she came up with Dr. Randy Delcourt in Cedar City, Utah, of all places. So
I was looking up cost comparisons for people who don't have insurance and what our options were to make it happen at an affordable price. You know, I even looked to other countries, but then when you factor in hotel, air flight, don't know about sanitary, that kind of conditions, you question it. And so I just kept on looking until I found Dr. D's site, known as Dr. Delcourt, and it was plain and simple and upfront. Here are the costs if you're paying out of pocket, and you click on the area that is bothering you, and that is the full thing out the door. No there might be no, that was the price out the door, unless anything, complications happen, which in our case, twice for her, once for me now, 3 days ago, no complications, no added on fees. Having the operation rooms inside his own clinic, for me, was a big deal because I'm susceptible to getting staph infection. And just walking in, you see how clean this place is. So everything is very sterile, very sanitized, and you're not around a big hospital with other sick people where there's a lot of other infections going on. That made my fear pretty much gone.
one of the first thing I noticed is that there's no place like here. Dr. Delcourt makes you feel so relaxed, so comfortable, and everybody in the office is so accommodating that makes your stay and your surgery and recovery like a miracle.
You know, you become like extended family now. Dr. Delcourt is texting, how did you feel tonight? How was therapy? He's not in it just to, okay, great, they wrote me a check, I'll do the operation and goodbye. Not that at all. Even with Nellie, when we went back home to Georgia, he had us take pictures of her scar every day and send them to him.
He wanted to see the progress, that everything was going as it should.
They gave me at first hydrocodone, and I stayed on it for a day and a half, and and I'm a believer into thy own self be true. And now I am taking 500 milligrams of Tylenol and 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. Absolutely no hydrocodone.
Yep.
Absolutely none. And
I never even took any hydrocodone because I don't like it. It makes your head feels
and
weird.
And then the other medications that they give you to avoid blood clot, aspirin twice a day. Yes, I have my Keflex for an infection just as a precaution. And that's it. And because I didn't even need the stool softener because I did not stay on the hydrocodone. So that's one bottle I didn't even have to touch. One less thing I have to worry about. This is his complete passion. This is how he breathes. He loves what he does. And I get that about a personality like that because I'm like that with my work. This is what keeps him ticking. This is how he breathes.
We highly recommend Dr. Randy Delcourt for anyone who's having any issue.
It brings a great amount of comfort, confidence, and security in putting everything you got in his hands, without question. Well, the pain was causing me, first of all, to be, personality-wise, I was getting short, irritable, snappy, and I couldn't drive as long comfortably anymore. I'd be driving clients and I'd be massaging with one hand and steering with the other. Longevity in working and doing it comfortably without pain, which of course at the end of the day now I won't be taking as many Aleve or Tylenol or whatever it is.
Well, it's the quality of life. When you're in pain or something is not working right, it's gonna hurt other part of your body. And in doing so, your quality of life goes downhill. And after I've had my surgery, I feel like a 20-year-old again. If they come here, they will feel at home, they will get done what needs to be done, and they will go back home totally renewed.
After the first surgery, she was coming back, no question. After her 2 surgeries, I didn't look anywhere else for my knee replacement. I knew where I was coming. Well, once you have the information, you're responsible, basically. And you have a choice. How much longer am I willing to dial 1-800-PAIN or step through the fear and buck up and get it done? And just do it. You got to give yourself a gift too. You got to give yourself a gift to know that at the end of the road, you will be much better. You will be better off.